The girls panicked and bolted, leaving one of the actor twerps drooling in their wake. I didn't recognize the drooler or the two women sitting at the table, but I definitely recognized two of the other men as the brats who'd asked me to park their car at Rockley Lodge the night before. "Let's go," I said, placing my hand on the shoulder of the man closest to me. The body under my hand stiffened. I looked down to see my hand on Finn Heller's shoulder, the Finn Heller, the famous actor who'd played Chip Clover in the long-running sitcom Cast in Clover. The kid America had watched grow up from their living rooms. The asshole who'd treated me like the help the night before. When I'd seen him at Tiller and Mikey's house, I hadn't realized who he was at first. He looked nothing like the smart-mouthed boy next door who'd made millions flashing his dimples in front of American households on Thursday nights for all those years. He was all man now. Even though he still had distinctive freckles scattered across his nose and cheeks, he also had tattoos I'd never noticed before inked on his muscular forearms, and the rounded shadow of shoulders and pecs defined under his shirt. I cleared my throat and pulled my hand away. "Time to go," I said again. "This isn't the bayou on Santa Monica, for God's sake." The beach blonde man I'd pegged as Finn's sidekick the night before raised one corner of his lips at me, and his eyes turned predatory. "You know the bayou?" "Sure do. And I also know that Colorado has a mandatory community service requirement for first-time DUIs. You look like the kind of guy who might want to stick around after filming is done to help beautify our little hamlet here. What do you say?" Finn answered before his friend could mouth off at me. "He's not driving. I am." He met my eyes, and his gaze held a potent combination of defiance and exhaustion that made me feel enraged and shockingly protective all at the same time. My stomach pitched a little, like it might qualify for a DUI even without the alcohol consumption. "And I'm sober." I had no idea why I did it, but I grabbed Finn Heller by his biceps and hauled him out of his chair and toward the door of the bar. "We'll see about that." What the hell was I doing? The kid was cherry-cheeked, sure, but he didn't actually seem drunk. But once I'd started this ridiculous charade, I was going to finish it. "Could you go easy on the optics, please?" His voice was soft, as if he only wanted me to hear him. I glanced sideways and noticed a few people watching me haul him out of the bar. I loosened my grip and instructed him over to the side of my vehicle, where I proceeded to ask him a few questions, followed by holding out my finger and moving it side to side for the first part of the field sobriety test. Normally, that would be followed by the walk and turn test, but it was clear to me he wasn't drunk. Now that we had an audience with a few cell phones out, I decided to spare the town the additional drama. "Wait in your car while I check with the bar owner. I'll escort you back to your hotel." Finn opened his mouth to argue with me, but I glared him into changing his mind. After making sure Matt was able to close the bar down peacefully, I returned to the McLaren. Several fangirls were swarming the vehicle with their boobs and fluttering cocktail napkins. The sidekick was drinking it all up. But Finn himself just looked tired. He must have still been hungover from partying the night before after arriving in town. "All right, let's go," I said in a voice that meant business. I made significant eye contact with the fans, and they scattered like dandelion seeds. The sidekick pulled his celebrity shtick on me again. "Do you have any idea who this is?" he asked with a laugh. I tried to skewer him with my crusty middle-of-the-night eyeballs. "Yes, I'm fairly sure it's the man who asked me to park his car last night." Sidekick snorted. "Well, you should know he barely ever drinks. The man's a total bore." Right. And I was Aristotle. Be that as it may, I'm actually the sheriff of Aster Valley, and when I say it's time to go, that means it's time to go. Finn actually blushed. "What the hell?" "Sorry, man. I didn't know," he murmured to his lap. So now he was playing the innocent schoolboy. Not interested in that garbage. Now you do. And now the sheriff is going to escort you back to your hotel.